Well, g'day, welcome back to another episode. In this one, we are tackling the Montezuma Falls drive track in Western Tasmania, just near Zeehan. We have just come across this epic bog hole that we're going to try and get through. We're with our mates here, Luke and Ali, in their 105 series cruiser. This one's going to be a gnarly one. Don't know how we're going to go here. Well, today's adventure is the Montezuma Falls. We are taking the four-wheel drive track up to Montezuma with some mates of ours, Luke and Ali, who we met right back at Forth when we first landed in Tassie. So excited for this one. We're not really sure what this track's gonna have in store for us. We're not sure how gnarly it is. We're just gonna give it a crack. They're up front in their 100 series or 105 series cruiser. So hopefully they can help us through anything that gets a little bit serious, but we'll see what we come up with. So it's about 14 Ks in. It's going to take us a couple of hours to get in there, I think, and then a really short walk to the falls themselves. The other option is, if you want to head to the falls, there is a 10K, relatively easy from what we've heard, hike into the falls. Montezuma Falls is just outside of Zeehan, or the trackhead for this one starts just outside of Zeehan. I'm pretty sure the hiking track, if you're going to hike, is closer to the town of Rosebery. I'm just going to get this branch. But yeah, anyway, we're into it. We just started the trail. It's pretty easy so far, but let's see what it's got in store for us.
It's like someone's conveniently left that stick there for you to test. Something that is really nice is having mates with you when you go four-wheel driving. It just means that for us, we can tackle the trickier stuff just with the confidence that you've got someone who knows where you are and can help you out if you need it.
I love this feeling though, this nervous anxiety you get when you're tackling a bit of the unknown. Gets the butterflies in the stomach and gets the heart rate going. It's good fun. With our little Ranger running on standard suspension, we're still running factory suspension and have done obviously for the whole trip. So it definitely limits us with ground clearance. The belly of the Ranger sits pretty close to the ground, so a little suspension lift would certainly help it out, especially when we're tackling some of these harder tracks. I'm not sure I'd tackle something like this on my own with the Ranger, just because it's so unknown. You're just not really sure what you're going to come up against. Yeah, it's really just about good tyre placement, trying to keep the belly of the car up away from as many obstacles as possible, straddling all the big ruts and crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Good tyres makes a big difference. Having decent tread makes a huge difference, and we've aired down a fair bit. We're down to 20 PSI, just to give us plenty of traction and give us as much advantage as we can. We obviously don't have a winch or anything like that either, so that's also something I take into consideration if I'm going to tackle something by myself, is how easily I can recover myself. We've got the tread recovery tracks and we do have recovery gear. Yeah, I mean, on the plus side, the Ranger does come factory with a rear diff lock, which certainly helps, especially on some of the big ruts, and it can make up for a lack of ground clearance when you've got a diff lock. So yeah, we'll see how she performs. With these tighter tracks and the deep ruts, it's sometimes a choice between scraping the belly a little bit along the dirt or scraping the vegetation down the side of the car, which is a brutal choice sometimes, but We'll get there.
I heard pinstripes are the new black, so that's what we're rolling with for this Tassie expedition.
Yeah, it doesn't take very deep ruts for this thing to bottom out. Can straddle.
Couple of ruts here.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Oh, the treads worked well there. They're a good substitute for lack of clearance. Pack them in the deep ruts and save us bailing out as much as possible. It's not that challenging of a track. It's not steep or anything. It's just a lot of bog holes and a lot of deep ruts.
So for the middle section of this track, there is just a river running down the tracks, and you can see just how much it's going to erode the tracks out. There is a warning at the start of the track saying it's impassable when wet, and I would definitely be checking the weather forecast. It rained a little bit last week, and for it to be this wet still, it would be hectic after you've had a decent rainfall here. All right, so we're almost at the first creek crossing and we've just come across some ruts. Have a go at these ones.
Yeah, as much fun as that looks, I think we'll go this way. I think we'll take the chicken track. Climbed it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I want to cruise it so I can play with the big kids.
Hurry up, mate.
Yeah.
Call Toyota.
Ring Toyota Australia. What's going on?
Yeah, just in the middle of nowhere.
That was a tree.
That sucked.
You okay? I'm going to grab a few extra tracks and put them in the front here. Good. What happens? Oh, Jesus, it's slippery, isn't it?
Yeah, well, even this stuff, like,
Yeah.
it's slippery where it's not wet once you start dragging water up on it.
Alright, what's your plan, Duff?
I don't have a plan. Luke's going first. It's very slippery, very deep, very off camber. We're mostly worried about this bank on this side. The car's either sliding or scraping along that wall. Just trying to level ourselves out as much as possible. So there's already a heap of logs in here when we got here. We just packed up with a couple of treads to try and even it out a bit more and help us out. But the tricky part is guessing your wheelbase and your wheel track width to make sure, trying to figure out what tyre's going to go up what and what in what order to try and get an idea of what the car's going to do. But we may just have to get it up here and see. You just spat all the tracks out, but if you try and climb now and it slips, you're going to come, whether you want to reposition. Yeah. Slow. That's looking good. Gonna get your ass to come up on that log. Hang on. You've got that log, we've got that log spliced between your front and your rear now. The rear's gone the other side of it.
Yeah. Once that's off, then it's gonna...
That's what I made. And it's gonna kick it sideways, and you'll end up, if you just back up about half a metre, I might be able to reposition that log or jam a track in there to push you back out. It was looking really good until that log slipped. So, I wonder if I can get Max treads in there to make that rear try and climb that log.
Yeah.
Did I say I was happy I put boots on? Yeah, perfect. Let's come on top of that log now. Slow. Straighten up. Right, keep coming. Easy.
Yeah.
Now we're just going to get the Ranger through up.
Yeah.
Easy as.
How was that, Luke?
Oh, a bit of fun.
Oh, the tyre's gonna fall. The tyres!
How's the heart, darling?
Well, we got through that. Liz nearly went arse up. We got through that bit. The trouble is we're only about halfway down the track, and it's probably taken us, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours to get to this point.
On the plus side, we've come super prepared with a bottle of wine. So
You're not worried.
I'm not worried at all.
And the other, it doesn't get dark till about 10 o'clock, and we've got food, so the kids ate all the snacks, so they don't really need lunch.
You can always walk downhill out the other end.
That's right. Yeah, sure. It's only 10k walk out. An easy 10k, they reckon.
Downhill, surely.
We've got sausages. It might be dinner now. Sausages might, instead of being lunch, might be a dinner cook-up.
Early dinner.
And then a night run out.
Yeah, that'll be fun down here. At least, yeah, it's not dark till 10.
At one point, I was like, oh, maybe Ali and I will hike the 10Ks and race the boys four-wheel driving and see who gets there first. Just in case you're wondering, definitely hiking is the faster way.
After making it through that obstacle, we were absolutely stoked and finally felt like we were going to make some progress on this track. That's going to be fun to go back down. Nothing like a track you got to... Yeah, there's nothing like a track you got to do twice so you know exactly what you're in for. Sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not. Those poor rear mud flaps have been copping a flogging.
It's just relentless. Like, it's just, there's no easy bit. There's no bit where you just like have a breather and then keep going. It's just like obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and all of like mildish obstacles. There's a few big doozies in there that definitely had us worried.
Really need to drive behind you and pick up one person so you can leave behind.
Hey, I haven't got anything.
I feel like this was where we were thinking photos.
But after another hour or so pushing along through the track, we started to realise that maybe we'd bitten off a little bit more than we could chew. Oh, no, I come from wander up there. Is it getting gnarly, is it?
It's not too bad. Just drawing on.
Yeah, we've been having that conversation. Yeah, I reckon we're not much beyond. We're not 3/4 of the way, eh? We're a bit past, maybe 2/3 of the way, you reckon?
Yeah, 2/3.
So at best, we'd probably still another hour and a half. Maybe at least an hour anyway, hour and a half.
Yeah, at least an hour.
That puts us there at 4, and then by the time we cook and look, lucky to leave by 5, and I reckon we've got at least 3 hours back out, you reckon?
4.
Yeah, about that, eh?
We could always hit it another day and do a 10k hike. Alright, I think we're gonna bail.
Aye.
Well, I think this one's beat us. So yeah, you probably heard most of that conversation on the UHF, but we're a few hours in. We'd be lucky to be 2/3 of the way. And yeah, there's still a long, long way to go. So we're just gonna try and turn around, I think, and call it as it is. It's gonna be a late arrival back at camp. The falls will have to wait for another time.
Righto, so we called it to have a break there, feed the kids some sausages on bread, and just assess how we were going. It's now 4:30. We're gonna leave it, and that's life. Like, you don't always get to where you want to go. It was really, really handy having heaps and heaps of food, heaps of water with us, so it wasn't stressful at all. But it is just a timing thing. It's probably taken us 4 hours just to get to the second Montezuma Falls sign at this point, mostly because the rangers has got such low clearance. We've had to stop and put treads in a lot of the way, but that's all right. That's all right. Speaking of scratching and belly scratching sounds, that's the horrible sound of the car scraping along the bottom, but is what it is. And yeah, I just wanted to share, it's like reality. You know, some people probably wouldn't share that they didn't make it or tried to do something else. We're just gonna call it. We've all got kids, we've got families. It's how things roll. Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think it's definitely a lot slower with the low clearance we've got in the Ranger. I think even a 2-inch lift in this, and yeah, you definitely get through a lot quicker. 2-inch lift, maybe in one tyre, a tyre size or two up would make a big difference. So, I mean, we did just pass a 4-inch lifted patrol on 35-inch tyres that it only took them an hour to get to where it took us 3 hours to get to. So, yeah, it's not all, not necessarily that slow if you've got the right vehicle for it, but we're certainly pushing the limits of the Ranger in this one, which is good. I'm happy to do that. But at the same time, you've got to know when it's time to call it. And that was our time. So we'll leave Montezuma Falls for another time. But it's been an absolutely stunning drive. This track actually follows the old, what they call the old tramway. So it's actually quite flat. It has some amazing cuttings through the forest and through the mountain. Really feels like the proper depths of the Tasmanian wilderness. So it's been an outstanding drive despite not making it all the way through. No regrets at all. It's been good fun. It makes me So excited about our 76 Land Cruiser build this year. We're just gonna have to come back with our cruiser and hit it again. Yeah, it's been a hoot.
We're almost back at the highway. We're almost gonna air up. It's 6:30. We've still got a half an hour drive back to camp in Queenstown. That means we spent 7.5 hours on this track and didn't actually make it to the end. So we're gonna head home. We're gonna have a few drinks. We definitely earned them. We're all exhausted. Night, guys.
I didn't even see that.
I'm going to check the car. I bought it on camera.
Oh, good. My finest hour. Is there something in front of you?
Nah, sorry, mate. I'm just looking at you with my camera. See what you're doing.
Just waiting for a mate.
Do you need this mirror?
I need all the mirrors, yeah.
Just gonna film.
You just go at whatever pace suits you, and if we need help or get stuck, I'll let you know.
Yeah, straight up, touch, right hand down, yep, it's good.
Another right.
Go forward, sweet.
Whoa, that's a big wave coming up. Bonker!